So guys, Michelle Obama is on a generational run right now. She is currently doing a bunch of press for this new book she's publishing called The Look. And you might be able to guess, it's all about her looks. She cannot stop talking about her appearance, her hair, her makeup, her wardrobe, and what it all means for society. Because of course, it means so much.
I mean, what I took from these clips when I saw them the first time is just that, like, life is hard. That's what she thinks.
It's
life
so
is hard
to be not only a woman, but also a black woman, but also the former first lady. And it's just so hard to be Michelle Obama. And this book is a celebration of style from the moment she entered the public eye during her husband's Senate campaign through her first time as the black first lady. And today, as one of this country's most influential figures, Michelle Obama shares how she uses the beauty and intrigue of fashion to draw attention to her message. No idea what that message is because she cannot shut up about her clothes and her hair and her makeup.
Is it the school lunches are important?
Maybe it's all about school lunches. And then she's also pairing the book with a companion podcast. She already has a podcast actually with her brother called In My Opinion, or IMO. But this is a limited series companionate with the book of The Look, premiering weekly. They say through candid, intimate conversations with creative minds behind her hair, makeup, and wardrobe, along with fashion insiders and influential voices, Michelle reveals how she and her team transformed the scrutiny of her public image into a celebration of self-expression, inclusion, and impact.
Has she done collaborations with Meghan Markle? They should get on that.
They really should.
They should get on that.
Yeah, if the IMO podcast were hosted by Meghan Markle and Michelle,
we could get like those two, Amber Heard. Who else does everybody hate? So we could get Michelle Obama, Amber Heard, Meghan Markle.
Look,
who? I need three more because I want to create the sinister six of annoying people. It can't be just women. There's got to be some guys in there too. I'm equal opportunity here.
I mean, women who are famous because of their husbands, basically, is the category, right?
Just annoying.
Because Amber Heard doesn't fall into that. Well, I think it should be like women who are famous only because their husbands are famous and they're just like riding the coattails.
Mackenzie Bezos donating all that money to charity.
Maybe Lauren Sanchez could be a part of it. I think Lauren Sanchez is actually like, she seems pretty charming and friendly.
Yeah.
And down to earth, relatively. But yeah, this series, I say this as someone who actually does believe that fashion is or can be political. This sounds ridiculous. It celebrates how Michelle's authenticity and legacy of representation not only defined her approach to style, but continue shaping the social and political conversation about who gets to be seen and how.
What does that even mean?
Nothing. Nothing. It means nothing.
It's like that. There was an article last week, guys, about the racial and gender dynamics around podcasts and how it was overwhelmingly white and male.
Yeah.
But the thing is podcasting has perhaps the lowest barrier to entry. They let me in. So either that says something about being a white male.
Who's they, though?
Who is they, though? Either that says something about being a white male, or it just says something about the low barrier to entry for everybody, because anybody can do it.
Yeah, you would think that women would have more podcasts because they like talking much more than men like talking.
Okay, so I think about this a lot, which is that, okay, I noticed this because me and you, we tend to care about very different things. When like even the Michelle Obama thing, I thought about covering like in a solo video, but it was going to be strictly the stuff that you had at the end here, which was about her talking about how she wouldn't run for president because like apparently we don't deserve it as a country because we're not acting like adults. But the point is that women tend to enjoy talking about people and social interactions. Men like to talk about ideas or
the macro subjects.
Like when and maybe this is just me internally, but when it starts to get down to like interpersonal details, my brain just shuts off. And I don't mean that in like a mean way. I mean like my brain can't form cohesive thoughts around it because first of all, I wasn't there, so I don't know. Like when you talk about like the large scale idea of Disney, you can go by Bob Iger's comments and like the investor reports, box office returns and things like that. But when you're talking about like we're going to talk about like Justin Baldoni today, like a lot of it is just like somebody said that this person says something. And I think a lot of men tend to tune out to that. But there's like, if we're talking about just people, there's literally endless stuff you could talk about that I'm sure plenty of women would want to do. So you'd think there would be more women
Which I
in the space.
find fascinating personally. I agree with you though that the reason for the disparity of the overrepresentation of white males in podcasting is literally just because you're less likely to get platformed by a media conglomerate if you're a straight white male. Therefore, the form that has a lower barrier to entry is where white men will go to share their thoughts and meritocratically they will have a good response. Anyway, so this first clip is from Michelle Obama's appearance on the Jamie Kern Lima show, which is hosted by
Jamie Kern Lima?
You will know who it is by her voice. She is the billionaire founder of It Cosmetics, a makeup line.
Okay, so she's big.
And she actually interviewed Meghan Markle just a matter of a couple of months ago.
Yes.
You will recognize her obnoxious voice in this interview. So let's take a look at Michelle Obama saying that it's not a luxury to have a hair and makeup team.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really have that choice as first lady.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Every day, every time I was up, as we called it, you know, I was up for the public.
Yes.
And the days were long.
Yes.
It sounds fake.
So as you mentioned, to save time.
Yes.
You know, I know having a glam team, a trifecta, it feels like a luxury, but it was a necessity. There's absolutely no way that I would be able to.
Is there a two shot of these two people? Were they even in the same room?
They were.
Is this a Meghan Markle situation where they just pipe in her voice?
Do my hair and makeup and have clothes ready that fit, you know, because rare is the woman that can live off the rack.
That's literally most women, right? They have to live off the rack.
I don't know, actually. Personally, I cannot live off the rack.
Okay.
If we're talking about clothes, fine, I'll put in my 2 cents. I do not live off the rack. I get everything I own tailored to be smaller.
Okay.
Michelle Obama, however, is 5'11" and quite built. So I assume she actually is telling the truth there. But yeah, it's apparently not a luxury to have employees that do your hair and makeup for you and provide all of your clothes for you.
It's like she's in this game of chicken against people who are like still willing to believe that this is a person who represents the everyman or every woman in this case, right? Like that's like the most obnoxious thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
And like she's acting like it, okay, she's saying it's a time necessity because if she were responsible for all these things, it couldn't possibly get done. She was so busy with all of her duties as the first lady that she needed to have these employees do these things for her. That makes total sense. But also, if you wanted to just kind of schlub around in no makeup and wearing shitty clothes during your time as the first lady, you definitely could have. You just chose not to because
I don't know if
the position calls for a certain level of elevated looks.
I imagine that when you sign on to a campaign to something like this, you make a deal with your campaign manager and with the donors that have a lot of say over what your life is going to be like when you leave office. Like, they're like, look, we expect you to conform to specific guidelines of propriety, not just because it's what the American people deserve to see somebody who's at least put together, but because we're putting our money and our time behind you. Therefore, you need to conform to what we believe is acceptable.
It's bizarre to me because look at all of these male politicians. They have hair, makeup, and wardrobe teams too. It's not just the women.
Yeah. That's
ridiculous. I remember Hillary Clinton complaining about the same thing, how she had to wear makeup when she was campaigning. Whatever.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, cry me a river. In this second clip, Michelle Obama is telling everyone about how beautiful she is and how if they don't realize that she's beautiful, they need to be educated about her beauty.
And we have to start educating people about all kinds of beauty.
Yes.
And our beauty is so powerful and so unique that it is worthy of the conversation, and it's worthy of demanding the respect that we're owed for who we are and what we offer to the world.
What?
You have to demand that people
recognize
your beauty. If you're beautiful, obviously.
I'm gonna steel man and say that first of all, she's not talking about herself. She's talking, I'm guessing, large scale about black women.
Yes.
Okay.
She said black female beauty is so powerful.
This is academic speak, and it's something that gets. I'll give her this. This is something that gets said on podcasts and in press releases. and even if true, doesn't comport with the reality of the average everyday person who just doesn't care what you look like. They just want to make a living and get by. And you and your husband made a lot of money off the backs of the American people through book deals after your presidency and investment and your
Speaker
Netflix deal and
fees.
your speaker fees. Those are exorbitant. So I don't know what you want anybody to do with this. It's not going to work. Like these types of speeches were very, very powerful to people like a decade ago or longer, honestly. When this type of academic flowery language got dropped into the culture, and now people are just like, I don't know what any of that means. I'm going to go outside and do something that's not look at you.
I just think we're avoiding the obvious truth, which is that some people are beautiful and some people are not beautiful.
Yes, the subjective nature of what she says. It's you kind of something you said struck me a long time ago when you're like, basically no woman is allowed to dislike anything because women don't like it when women dislike stuff.
Anything, really.
Like you're not allowed.
What I said is that as I've continued posting more regularly to grow my audience on Instagram specifically, I have made very, very little progress growing the percentage of my following that is female. I have made some progress, though, as I've been tracking it. But the reason for that is because women just don't like when they hear someone criticizing an idea, a product, another person. Literally any form of critique is repulsive to women. Link Lauren, friend of the show, responded to this clip saying, does she exclusively talk about her hair and clothes? What a sad existence. She is very insecure. She has a huge platform as a former first lady, and this is all she does with it. And it does come off as incredibly shallow and superficial.
To be fair, like, I guess she doesn't have to, like, have a focus. Like, what would benefit? Like, what did she go to college for? Like, she went to college,
that's a good
right?
question. She went to Harvard,
what
yes,
did
as
Michelle
a DEI
Obama,
student.
What did Michelle Obama go to school for? We're going to help her right now.
Let's see.
We're going to help her right now.
She did go to Harvard because of DEI programs.
Okay.
Probably proof that those things shouldn't exist. Oh, okay. She did not. Okay, wait, let me see.
She didn't graduate?
So she attended Harvard Law School for her graduate studies after her bachelor, but she got the undergraduate degree in sociology with a minor in African American studies.
Okay. Well, I guess then it's kind of on brand
At
for her.
Princeton.
But go into depth on the topic of sociology as it relates to.
This is it.
Yeah, I know, but like
This is what it looks like when PhDs talk about sociology. They talk about shit like this.
But like the thing is, you have to push it out past your own experience and talk about larger scale concepts beyond just racial and gender demographics.
It used to be that way.
Or the other thing that she could do, which would really benefit her, is take what she's learned and apply it to things that are far left field from what she's into. Like she's got to like something else, right? She's got to like sports. Like, does she like football? Like, do some deep dives into like what it means to be a professional athlete and the cultural markers of like literally. There's anything. You're the old president's like wife. You could call up anybody and get an answer.
I would bet that she at least took one full course in college about Black women's hair.
Yeah.
In this next clip, she is talking to Diana Ross's Nepo daughter, and she is saying white people trap Black people in hair standards that harm their capability to work. While wearing a weave, by the way.
Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head now.
There isn't any context. There is exactly zero context in polite society. Not the internet here where we are. We're on X. But in polite society, where a white person would ever expect to be able to go up on stage and say,
Let me explain something to Black people. Like, you would never say that.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's weird. And it's actually creepy.
It's belittling.
It's belittling and it's creepy. You shouldn't do it. And thus, you should not either.
Well, let's listen and learn from this intelligent Black woman today.
Naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't
Bro, you could just like not be trapped, like, and just not do it.
swim. And we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all.
Okay, I'll actually give you an example of where that's actually true. First of all, if you're on your own and your own person, you don't have to do anything. You can do whatever the hell you want. And this is actually a discussion that comes up in Hollywood a lot. But there was an actress named Shalita Grant. She's still an actress. She was on NCIS New Orleans. And she ended up leaving the show because they wanted her to have straight hair. Like, she would have to wear her hair pulled back, if not straight. And it was damaging to her scalp because it was pulled so tight.
Okay.
Right? And you know what she did? She just left the show eventually because it was like damaging her hair. But the thing is, in that industry, there has been a long period of time where they would not have allowed black women to wear their hair the way it normally looks. They would always straighten it. That was absolutely true.
I just want to point out, it's not intrinsically a racial issue.
No,
because white and non-black actresses or anyone in the public eye is they have rules enforced on their appearance the same exact way. In fact, Ariana Grande had to do, like, she had to dye her hair red when she was on Nickelodeon and it damaged her hair. Now she's in Wicked, where she has to bleach her hair blonde for years on end. It's obviously damaging to her hair. That's just what you do when you are a performer. You have to follow the guidelines of the people that are in charge of the show. It's not that big of a deal. And it just falls flat for her to say this when she's on stage wearing, it looks like she's wearing a weave.
And Hugh Jackman.
You don't have to do that.
Hugh Jackman gets like rehired to play Wolverine again, and he wants to eat tacos and be fat, but he has to do steroids and get lean and dried out so that they can take shots of his abs. And he's like, I'm trapped in your beauty standards.
Again, it's politicians, it's actors, anyone in the public eye, male or female, white or black.
John Cena, very famously, once he retired from wrestling and became acting full time, it got very noticeable that he had a big bald spot in the back. And you know what he did? He dealt with it for a couple of years. They shot around it, and then he got his hair transplant. Like a normal, but he didn't say, like, you know what? I'm stuck in your white Western beauty standards for what a male's hair should be. No, he knew that it would benefit his market share if he's going to be an action star to not have a bald spot. The only person who can do that is Jason Statham.
This is like if I sat here on this podcast and blamed all of you for the money that I spend on bleaching my hair to argue that
She's told me how much it costs. It's insane.
That it's you guys forcing me to bleach my hair, actually, and it's damaging and cruel. Anyway, let's finish up this this clip here.
It is exhausting and it's so expensive and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act, an act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair? Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it. Don't touch it. Just don't. It just...
Michelle Obama is like stuck mentally in 2018.
Yeah.
Clearly.
She is.
Does not know where the tides are shifting. And this next clip, she claims that that black people growing up had to dress a certain way so that white people wouldn't murder them.
Exposure to the high end of Chicago and to access those places and not be accused of stealing. You realize very early on that you better let them hear you talk or, you know, come in with the right LaSac case or else you would be watched. And, you know, so I think I learned then that how you show up, especially when it comes to white folks looking at young black kids, that how you present can sometimes save your life. So yeah, I think I was learning that all throughout my...
Just don't wear blue in a blood area. And
she didn't bring that part up.
Yeah.
You know, after all of this complaining and whining and superficiality displayed by Michelle Obama, I think any chance that she had of gaining popular support as a political candidate has been tanked. I don't know if you would agree with that, Brett, but she also clarified that she has no plans of running for office in the future because
I feel like
she needs
for
the
last,
country to grow up.
For the last couple of elections, there's always that idea. We don't even have to watch that clip. She basically is like, you guys are immature. This country doesn't deserve me.
They proved
Yeah.
that they're not ready for a black woman in office with
And
the last election.
I don't think that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, people have been like, okay, she was the break glass in case of emergency candidate. But I don't think that that's what it is anymore. We're in a very different place culturally. We're in a very different place. And there's nothing that she said that is in any way presidential. When Barack Obama got elected, he got elected with a clean slate, for the most part, a clean slate with the American people. And the race baiting came later.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.